Hello, I'm having to replace the timbers on my existing 3 raised beds. Timber's gone rotten. I built these beds myself and I used scaffolding planks, scaffolding boards. They've gone rotten, so I need to replace them. And my beds are 8 foot by 4 foot, give or take an inch, 8 foot by 4 foot. So really I want to replace them with 8 foot by 4 foot beds because I want to retain the soil. And the way I intend doing this is to dig out inside the circumference of the existing raised bed and just pile that soil in the middle of the bed, shutter it up, and then try and build the new raised bed where the old one stood and pull the soil back into place. In fact, I've done it. I've done it with 2 raised beds. I'm going to cut you to a little bit of video now that I've shot of those 2 raised beds that are completed. Then we'll go outdoors and we'll build the 3rd raised bed together. Yeah, we'll build that 3rd raised bed together. Okay, see you when you get back. Okay, so 2 down, 1 to go, and at the time, the one that was still to be done had vegetables in it. Well, I've got it cleared out now, so we can build the new raised bed to go in that position. I can get rid of the old timber. A piece of advice I would give you, born from experience, the experience of these 3 raised beds. I've actually gone for treated garden sleepers. Haha, heavy duty. If you've got any back issues, strength issues, and you're doing this, these guys are too heavy for you. Boy, they are heavy. They are heavy. And if you see any other videos on YouTube of people using these, chances are the young men, or they've got young assistants with them. I don't know, I haven't watched them all. I'm only guessing. But these are heavy for an older person to lift. Anyway, I've done it. I've done 2, I'm going to do the other now. So yeah, if you're going to do this and you want to go for those treated garden sleepers, you might need to enlist the help of a stronger, younger person. Okay, so how big are you going to build this raised bed? Well, I've already told you mine are 8 foot by 4 foot. Ideally, I want to build 8 foot by 4 foot raised beds. So that's the size of timber I want when I go to the wood yard. So when I went to the wood yard, typical, everything is sized in metric measurements. We're in metres. Well, I don't know about you, but that's me banjaxed. We're in metres. I've gone down with feet and inches. We're in metres. But what I found was these garden sleepers at my local timber yard were 2.4 metres long. Now that isn't far off 8 foot. 2.4 metres isn't far off 8 foot. So if I buy 2 of those sleepers, I've got 2 sides, haven't I? I don't have to do anything with them. I've got two sides. And if I buy one more and ask the timber yard to cut it in half, that gives me two 4-foot lengths. Hey, 3 lengths, 1 length cut in half, 2 sides and 2 ends. No cutting. And that's something else I would advise you. Get this timber cut. Don't attempt to cut it yourself. You'll struggle to cut it square, and unless you've got some big boys' toys, you ain't gonna cut it. It's just too thick, it's just too heavy duty. So get it cut at the timber yard. And if they don't have those particular lengths in, what I would suggest you do is find a length that you can accommodate, get 2 of them, that gives you 2 sides, and get another one, ask them to cut it in half, and that gives you 2 ends, and your raised bed will be whatever size it is, based on whatever timber you've bought. Does that sound, am I making sense here? Well, we're going outside shortly. Okay, so at the time I shot those videos, the top raised bed still had vegetables in it. And I wasn't going to harvest them for harvesting's sake. I'm only taking them when I need them. Anyway, we've taken them. So now that bed's empty. So we can crack on with that one. So I'll build the 3rd raised bed. And I'll just show you what we're going to be using to build that. Now we've got these long screws. These are 6 inches long. Roughly 4 inches, 2 inches. There's the screwed section. That's the bit that's going to take the bite. And this is the transition section. This piece of the bolt is going to go through a clearance hole. I'll explain that better outside, I hope. This is going through a clearance hole. The hole that this goes into, and it doesn't need one because it will drill its own hole, the hole that this is going into will be a pilot hole that I'll drill, just to try and avoid splitting any timber. And the clearance hole is slightly bigger than that, but not bigger than the captive washer that you can see on the end, because that's where the tightening comes. That's how we tighten it up together. So, and if you want some of these, I got these off the internet. I can't remember how much they were. I think there was 50 in a box. Yeah, so just look on the internet, you'll find these guys. Now let me show you this. This is a neat trick. I won't explain this very well, I know I won't, not on this kitchen table, but I will when I get outside. This is simply a cardboard template that I've made with some centres on it, these hole centres, and that's going to be the centre for these bolts. So if I mark through those holes, that's where those bolts are going. And what I'm trying to do, the objective, is to get these bolts to go in through the side panels without striking the bolts that are going in through the end panel into the same piece of timber. Does that make sense? Well, it'll make more sense when we go outside and finish this job. Are you up for it? Yeah, I know you are. Come on, let's do it. So what you're looking at here is the 2 end panels sat on top of the 2 long panels, the 2 side panels. Okay, the 2 end panels, I've already built those. As you can see, they've got the corner pieces screwed into position. So what we need to do is we need to move these out of shot and drill the side panels, and then we can screw those to the end panels, and we've got a raised bed. But before I do that, I'll just give you a closer look into the corner construction of these beds and what I was talking about when I said I had a cardboard template that I wanted to show you. We'll have a look at that, and then we'll get on with building this bed. So this is a corner section, and I've simply laid this screw in position to show you that the reduced size of the screw, which is going to go into a clearance hole, there was a clearance hole drilled into this end panel. On the other side of that clearance hole was a pilot hole, and that's the screwed section in that pilot hole pulling those two together. Hope you can see there are two in. 1, 2. Now when the side panel goes on here, the last thing we want to happen, if I can just demonstrate this, is that a screw going in that direction is struck by a screw going in that direction. That's the last thing we want to happen. There's got to be space between them. So ideally we want these screws to go in. If that's the screw that's going in now, we want the next screw to go in somewhere like that, and down below the next screw something like that, so they actually miss one another as they go into this this support. Now then, imagine, if you would, the side panel is on there now, right? This is going to fit over that side panel like so. Can you see? I've left a gap for where it would be. It'll fit over like so, right? But I'll just move it on a bit. Now then, these are the two holes that we're going to use to screw that side panel on, and I hope you can see, but that is dead centre of that support. Can you see that? Dead centre of that support. See if we can show you it another way. We'll pop that on there, and then we'll see if we can take this off. That's dead centre, isn't it? That's dead centre. So all I'll do is, and you'll see me do this later, is put this on, mark it through, and drill the clearance holes. Then we'll use the clearance holes as templates to mark through, to mark the pilot holes. Then we'll bolt it all up together. Is that making sense? I hope it did. Well, I understand it, but I wouldn't have built two. Right, let's build a third one. So, these are the drills we're going to be using. We'll use this drill to drill the clearance hole for this screw. That'll drill the clearance hole. And we'll use these smaller drills to drill the pilot holes that these are going to screw into. Right, let's move these end pieces out of the way, and let's get cracking, as they say. So, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to mark out the position of the clearance holes on the ends of these two sides. Then we'll drill the clearance holes. I'll follow the same procedure on the other end of these two sides. You've seen this template? Yes, you have. This is our punch and nail. As you can see, Meg's in close attendance, making sure I don't make any mistakes. Okay, so to mark them out, it's as simple as, excuse me Meg, don't hit you on the head with this hammer. Tap, tap, tap. I don't know if you'll be able to see these. You may be able to, maybe not. Tap, tap, tap. There and there. Okay, same on this one. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn these over on the side because they'll be easier drilled that way. Okay. You'll need to let me know if I'm not holding this drill square. Last one. How's that? Let's just clear these holes out just in case. Okay, so we'll go up the other end now and we'll do the same again, and then hopefully the next time you see these I'll have them set up ready to mark through for the pilot holes in the ends of the raised bed. Does that look square, Meg? Does it? Does it look square? Right. I've got it clamped up the side to the end. This bolt is going to go through roughly there. That's near enough middle for diddle, isn't it? Now what I want to do is I want to just use this screwdriver to mark that hole through, mark the position of that hole in 4 places, there, and 2 at the other end. Then I'll need to drop that off because I haven't got a drill long enough. Drill the pilot holes, line it up and jig it up again, and then put the bolts in. Okay, let me just mark these holes through first. I've done the other end, so we should be able to take this apart now. Okay, here we go. Take this clamp off, we'll go to the other end, take the other clamp off. And then we're going to lay this down. Okay, here we go. The timber you see underneath at the moment is just some packing, just to get it level. Right. Let's get the drill and drill some pilot holes. Here we go. One. Two. Right, I'm going to pop down the other end, do the other 2, then we're going to lift this back up onto here. Okay, and line it up again. There we go. Let's lift this back up and see if we can line it up again. This is a test of strength, I'll tell you. Oh, gee whiz. These are heavy. Because as I've already told you. So what we will be doing, I mean, when I've got this constructed, if we wanted to, we could carry it over as a unit if there were 4 of us, but there isn't 4 of us, it's only me. So what I'll be doing is I'll be stripping it down again, taking it over piece by piece and building it piece by piece. How about that? That doesn't look too far out. I'll just pop around it and finish it off. So this part of the bolt requires a clearance hole that gets it through this piece of timber. This part requires a pilot hole so that this will drive into it. Now what you'll find is that when I insert this in here, it will not push through, because the hole drilled in there is to clear this part of the bolt, not this part of the bolt. So it will actually screw in until it's fully in, and when it's fully in, that screw will disengage from this timber, focusing on that piece of timber to pull it right in tight. Right, let's see if we can pop one of these guys in. As you can see, it's tight-ish. I need to be careful with this drill. Hey, excuse me, Meg, because it can be severe. And what I don't want to do is over-tighten it. Nearly there. That's it. Hey, come on! Homegrown veg. Right. Let's do this one. And then I'll go down and do the other end. Then I'll do the other side. Then I'll load the video up and we'll be finished for today. How's that? How's that? It's alright, isn't it? Right, down the other end. Well, that's about us finished for today. Bed's complete. Still got to do a tidy up, but I thought, hey, come on, time for a cup of tea and a bite. Me and the dogs. You've been a good help today, Meg. You have. Daisy, you've kept out the way, but now the toast's on the scene, you're in the shot. Wow, I needed that. Well, I needed that. Hold on, there'll definitely be a bit for you too, because you're two good dogs. Yeah, you're two good dogs. So, we'll have this, then we'll do a tidy up, then we're going indoors to get our feet up. We are. Yes, we are. I'll take you two for a walk later. And for those that are watching, the next time you see this raised bed, it'll be in situ. It'll be fitted. But I've already said I can't lift that. I can't. If we could get 4 people around it, we could, but even then, it's just too heavy. So I will take it to bits again. I know it seems a bit long-winded. You can only do what you can do, can't you? You can only do what you can do. Push for you, Meg. Push for you, Daisy. Another push for you, Meg. Another push for you, Daisy. Yeah. That's a lot for this video. This is homegrown veg. Meg and Daisy and me signing out. Yes, we are.